Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our training today. Our topic is ideas to fill your calendar. And I think this is a topic that many people need. So let's just jump in and get started. All right. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about here is, what does your calendar look like? So there may be some of you out there who are like, yep, that's exactly what my calendar looks like. I have nothing on it, nothing prepared for November specifically is what we're talking about, because right now, as of this date, it is the middle of October, so you have 2 weeks to be able to plan for a new month, and that is the perfect time to plan classes because typically you plan them out 2 weeks in advance. So if your calendar for November has maybe 1 or 2 classes or nothing on it, then you need to take note because this is specifically for you. So is this what you would like your calendar to look like? Now, when I say look like, for me, teaching 2 classes a week is what I want on my calendar. If this is not yours and you would like something a little bit different, that's fine. Just whatever it might look like for you, okay? So this is all about what you want to be doing in your life. So if this is something similar to what you like, you just have more classes on your calendar, keep watching. Okay, so we're going to get started here. And what I want this to be is a very interactive call where you actually participate. So I need you to take out a blank piece of paper and then a pencil. So if you don't have one with you, go get it, and you'll be very happy that you participated in this with that paper and pencil. Now, if you're driving in the car, please don't. I don't want to be responsible for you wrecking the car. But those of you who are available and sitting in front of your computer or your phone and you are able to get a paper and pencil, okay? Hopefully I've given you enough time to be able to do that. Okay, did you do it? You're going to benefit the most out of this if you actually do it. I have a lot of people, and I'm not kidding, who are just want to watch this and do it later. And I'm telling you right now, you will benefit if you actually do this with us right now. Don't wait till later. Do it together as a group. So if you're one of those people who said, I'll do it later, go get the piece of paper and the pencil, and we will wait for you to do that because you really want to participate with this in the group together. I think it will make a huge difference by the time we get to the end on what we do. Okay, everybody has them? All right, moving on. So here's what I want you to do with your piece of paper. I want you to draw a November calendar. Now you could have easily just printed one off. I got this one off the internet. But I want you to actually draw it right here and just put these squares, very similar to this. You're going to put how many ever there is, 30 squares in there. Make sure you have the right date so that's a correct November. So that would be Tuesday the 1st, Wednesday the 2nd, Thursday the 3rd, Friday the 4th, Saturday the 5th, and on. And you don't need to make this fancy or anything. It is only for you. You will be the only one that sees it. I'm not having you turn it in or going to show it to any of us. So just write down your November calendar. Make several squares on there with the numbers. So I'm going to go in the chat, and I'm going to see if you have finished. Let me know. And I will kind of look in the chat to kind of see if we are ready. Okay, I'll just give you a little bit more time. Carrie's done, Adele's done. Okay, do we need more time? I'll just get a little bit more time on here. Remember, it does not have to be perfect. This is just for you to look at. Laura's finished. Okay. As soon as you're finished, go ahead and put on the chat if you're able to. Some of you aren't able to get to the chat. I understand that. Okay, looks like we have a good enough people that have been able to finish that. Okay, so with your calendar, here's what I want you to do now. Okay, so take that piece of paper with all of your squares on it and the numbers in your calendar, and here's what I want you to do. Using your red marker, You can get a crayon. Red works the best. Circle all the days that you're available and like to hold classes or one-on-ones. Okay? One-on-ones are just as good as classes. Just whatever your schedule allows. So if you'll see on here, I can take my schedule and I look at my own personal calendar and say, okay, I can do one November 1st. I'm going to circle that one. I could do one on Wednesday the 23rd. So look through your personal calendar and just go ahead and circle all of the days that you are able to teach classes. Remember, take out all the important things first. Now, if there's Thanksgiving, the 24th and the 25th, don't do that, right? If school is out and you guys are on vacation, don't do it on that day. We don't want you to just scribble in. This needs to be a real, true calendar of your life and what's going on and when you truly are available to teach classes for November. Teach and hold classes. And I'm good. I'll just wait till everybody's finished. So go ahead on the chat and write down. Let me know that you have finished putting in your little red circles. You guys didn't realize you were going to have to actually work and not just listen on this call, huh? Usually we just listen in. Okay, so Sherry is done, or Shari, sorry. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, Shari. So if you have finished circling the red dots, Shari, like air. Sherry, okay, so it is, I was saying it right, Sherry, okay. I have a cousin named Shari, spelled just like your name, Shari. Okay, Laura is done. Okay, I'll give you just a few more seconds to be able to finish, and then we're gonna move on. Again, if you think I will just do this later, I'm hoping that that's not what's going to happen. You're actually going to participate with us. Okay, all right, a few more people are done. All right, move on. So you now have a calendar that you have drawn and you have red circles for classes that you would like to teach in November, okay? And this is going to be your, what are we going to call it? Our goal. Okay, so I want you to follow exactly what we do today on this call, and you will have every single spot filled in on your calendar for November. That's going to be your goal. So I wanted to make sure that everybody on this call had an actual visual of what that looks like. Many times you'll say, yeah, I want to fill in my November, but you don't know what that means. What does that mean to fill it in? You now have an actual goal with little circles on your piece of paper with exact dates that you want to fill. So important when you're going to set a goal is that you actually have a visual and set dates and set times and whatever that looks like for you, so that it's not just something in the air saying I need to set up my November. So this is very, very important that you do that. Okay, so we're first going to start with our mindset. So there are skill sets and there are mindset. And it's always important that we work with our mind first, because many times the skills aren't the hard part. It's our mind that holds us back. The way we're thinking about something, what we're doing, why we're doing it. And when you have a new mindset, then you get new results. So if right now you're thinking, I totally need to have more classes on my calendar, the mindset is what's going to change for you first, and then you're going to get new results. Okay, so I want you to answer the following question. So turn your paper over. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to have your calendar filled? Okay, so 10 means I definitely, absolutely want to have my calendar filled. And 1 means I could care less. Okay, so 10, definitely want to, 1, nothing. And then the second one, answer that one, scale 1 to 10, how likely do you think it is that you will fill your calendar? In other words, right now you might be thinking, okay, I'm going to do whatever Diane says, but truly I've already done this. I've been there. I really don't think it's going to happen, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, what do you think? In your brain, do you really think this is going to happen for you? Okay, number 3, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you willing to do whatever it takes to fill your calendar? Okay, so you might think one way, but how much are you willing to do whatever it takes to fill your calendar? Scale of 1 to 10. And then the last one, scale of 1 to 10, how willing are you to get uncomfortable in getting your calendar filled? So some of you might think, and you know, sometimes you don't even realize you're thinking this. We're like, sure, I'll do whatever Diane says, but if it gets to something hard, I'm out. okay? Well, I want to know, are you willing to even go beyond that point of, there's a line that some of us don't want to cross, like, ooh, that's the uncomfortable line. Are you willing to cross and step over that line a little bit today? So answer these questions very, very truthfully, okay? All right, filling out your calendar has a great deal to do with what you're thinking. Before we do the actions, I want you to stop and I want you to think. I have a full calendar of classes in November, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to have my calendar filled. Say that out loud if you need to. If somebody around you thinks you're crazy, I don't really care. But your brain has got to think, I can do this, I will do this. Notice we put on here, I have a full calendar of classes in November. So you're gonna think like, you already have it. You already have those classes already filled in November, and they're exactly what you need. Okay, so this is part of our mindset. Okay, again, on that paper that you already turned over, I want you to answer now these two following questions. Number one, what will the positive outcome be that'll happen from me holding the amount of classes I've circled on my paper? So say you have 6 classes that you, days that are available for you to hold a class, 6 days, okay? If you held those classes, okay, let me change that. When you hold those 6 classes next month, how will that change your life? How will that change your goals? How will that change your income? How will that change what happens within your business and your family? I want you to write that down. What positively happens because you followed through and held those classes that you have scheduled, that you have circled on your calendar? It could be something like this. I would earn, let's see, the fast start from that would be maybe $200, $300, $400, depending on what type of kit you sell. That could save up for Christmas presents for your family. That could mean you are able to actually have money to be able to go to the upcoming retreat. It could mean that you're able to pay off a bill. It could mean that you are, whatever that could mean for you. It could mean that you are now closer to your goal of hitting silver. Okay, everybody has a different goal that would help them. I want you to write that down. What is the positive outcome that would happen from you holding the amount of classes you have circled on your paper? Okay, if you finish that one, go on to number 2. What's the outcome if you do not hold the amount of classes you have circled for November? Okay, sometimes this one's a little bit harder. It could be things like I would still be in the same situation I'm in, and that may be a miserable situation, feeling like you can't get out of the hole that you're in, which could be financial, could be emotional, could be a job that you don't like, and it means you're not any closer to getting out of that job. It could mean that you still have a ton of bills that you are still behind on, you can't get ahead, or whatever that might mean. What is the outcome? Because holding those classes is going to either bring something fabulous or something that's not. You get to determine what that outcome is. So I want each of you, I'm going to open up the lines, not the lines, but open up the pictures here, and I want you to share your answers, okay? Because I think this is going to be good for all of us to kind of hear what the outcome could be if and when this follows through and you're able to hold those classes. So let me go here and open up the little group here. It is not letting me open up the chat. Hold on, guys. We're going to, it's not the chat I want people to actually talk to me on here. Okay, you know what? Let's just do it through the chat. I think that might be a little bit easier. Okay, is there anybody who would like through the chat to be able to share on here what the positive outcome would be? Let's start with number 1. What's the positive outcome that would happen from holding the amount of classes you have circled on your paper? Is anybody able to write that out and be able to share with us what that would mean? I think this would really inspire everybody, and we'd be able to understand each other a little bit more. I'll give you a little bit of time to write. I know it's not a quick thing to write. Okay, I'm going to do a stop share. I'm going to actually open it up here. There we go. Okay, so I have several of you on here. And I'm going to unmute you all. I think this will be good.
I'm just choosing.
Okay, so you're all unmuted, so we can hear each other. If it gets too loud, I may stop it, but I will. Okay, so I have from Adele. She's going to move forward with her plan to purchase a fifth wheel and quit her job and go on the road. Wow, that's an awesome goal, Adele. And being able to have those classes is going to move you forward and help you get out of the situation, because you can't do that right now, correct?
That's good.
That would be awesome. Okay, so Carrie put down she's going to start the ball rolling, getting classes from classes. Excellent. So if you don't know what she's talking about, she's going to start classes, and then from those she's going to learn how to book classes from those classes. Very good, Carrie, and that will actually get the ball rolling for you to continue your business moving forward. Okay, let's see. Sherry, more people will be aware and stay healthier this season. Sherry, you're a supporter. You like to help other people. I love it. Hey, Nina put on there closer to gold. Nice, so that's her goal for the month. And then Renee put better paycheck, stronger organization with new builders. And then Diane, another Diane here, several new folks turned on to natural solutions, improving their own wellness. More enrollees for my builders. Awesome. Okay, I just went ahead and muted everybody again. Sorry about that. I think this chat is working pretty good. Okay, do you guys see how this can be really amazing and change your business in ways that can change your life? Just one time of having a really good, strong month of all the classes that we've all scheduled and set up can be huge. Okay, so let's answer the second one. Everybody remember what the second one was? What happens if you do not fill your calendar and do what we're going to show you with you today? What happens if you never schedule those classes and nothing was ever held? So share with me on the chat what that would be like for you. Loss of momentum and enthusiasm. That's from Carrie. That's very, very true. Your plan is slowed down, Adele wrote. Renee says, stay where I am or I go backwards. Yeah. You're not moving forward. If you're not holding classes and regularly teaching them and getting new enrollments, you really are going backwards. Okay, Sherry says she won't fill her calendar. She has no motivation to go further toward her goal. Adele says, feel disappointed. And then Daniel says, feelings of self-dissatisfaction plus having to work harder, also not the best role model for their builders. Awesome. Oh, that was a combination. Sorry, it moved up as I was talking. That was a combination of Daniel and Diane's comment. Okay, and Laura Lunt, everyone stays the same as it is in my life and I don't want the same. Laura, that's awesome. You have to want something different than what's happening right now in your life. And that something different can only come from you doing something different, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to sharing their screen. Let's talk a little bit now of what we're going to do, okay? All right, so we just shared our answers. Let's move on. So why do we spend so much time on that? I know there's somebody out there that I came here to learn what to do. Why are we talking about this? The amount of classes you book depends on your desire to reach your goals and your willingness to do the uncomfortable things. So if your mindset is already there that I'm going to do this, awesome. That's where it needs to be. That truly does. You've got to do that. You must overcome your fears in your head first, and the actions will come when your brain aligns. So you've got to align the fears and just get rid of them, and then take the actions once those fears are gone. Okay, so we're finished with our mindset. You guys ready to move on to the skill set? So this is the action part. And the action part is awesome. Okay, here we go. So I want you to set aside 1 to 2 hours, and I would love it if you could do this today. So we're not gonna be able to do this on the call. Right now, you've got your calendar set and ready, and you know how many classes that you wanna hold for November. I now want you to take and set aside 1 to 2 hours, preferably 2 hours to do this. It'll be worth the time and the effort that you do, that you take to do this. I guarantee it. So if you look on here, 2 hours less of TV and computer time. If that means you don't get to watch your show tonight, then video it, whatever it might be. But take those 2 hours. If the kids go to bed and you normally go to bed also, maybe you need to stay up a little bit longer to do this, okay? 1 to 2 hours, set that aside. Now I want you to take out your cell phone. Okay, go to your contacts. And starting with the A's and ending with the Z's, I want you to make a list of all the people who you could contact about essential oils. And don't prejudge anyone. Don't think, well, they'd never be interested. I'm not going to write them down. If they're your contact, they're in your phone, they're your friends, you write them down. You have no idea. I have shared this before, but I had somebody in the last area that we lived in who I did not invite them because her husband was a doctor, and I thought they'll never be interested in essential oils. I was so wrong. She later enrolled with somebody else and was a little upset that I never invited her to a class. So don't prejudge anybody. Okay, so you're going to take out your cell phone and you're going to write down all the contacts in your phone. This could take a while. I told you, 1 to 2 hours. It could take a while to write them all down, but do it. Okay, you've got to get that piece of paper out and just make that list. And I would also suggest on the left-hand side, you put maybe a little square so that you can mark off when you contacted them and maybe a date when you've contacted them. Okay, if you're the type of person that needs to do this on a computer as well, go for it. Whatever works the best for you. Okay, after you've done that, I then want you to go to your Facebook page. And I want you to make a list of all your friends you could personally contact about essential oils from your Facebook page. Okay, some of you have thousands of friends on your Facebook page. Okay, so when people say I don't have anybody to contact, I have nobody who wants to do a class. If you have a Facebook page, you definitely have somebody to contact. Okay, so your Facebook page. All right, if you are married, some of you are not married, so this wouldn't count for you, but if you are, go to your spouse's Facebook page because they have friends too. Make a list of all your spouse's Facebook friends. Okay. After that, you're going to go to your email. You're going to write down all the names that you have in your email list. Are you guys getting an idea of where we're going? You're going to make a huge list from all the contacts that you have in all areas of your life. And this is the part that a lot of people really, really don't want to do and don't take the time to do it. And yet this is the most important thing to do to be able to get classes on your calendar. Okay, so I'm just giving you ideas of where you can get names from. Okay, do you have a Christmas card list? Write down the names from those people on your list. Now, a lot of times your Christmas card list is with people who live out of state. Awesome, even better. Okay, there's a lot of friends and family who you keep in contact with who may want to know what are they doing, what are they up to. Perfect, this is absolutely perfect for them. Okay, then you're going to write down neighbors, friends, acquaintances, anybody who is not on any of the above lists that we just talked about. So from all of the things that we just talked about how many people do you think you would have written on a piece of paper? I'll be honest with you. I have started doing this and I could not even finish. I probably had 800 to 1,000 names that would be on that list. And that's an awesome, great problem. It's not really a problem. It's a great thing, right? But it's going to be a long list, and you might think, what am I going to do with all of these people? Well, if you just worked with 100 of them and then went on and worked with the next 100 and then went on up to the next 100, you are never going to run out of people to work with. Okay, all right, so what are we going to do with this list? Okay, you should have that big, long list, yay, with the big old happy face. And then I want you to prioritize that list. So you're going to put a star next to all of those names of those who are most likely interested in natural health care or the business. So just go through them all and say, okay, wow, you know, that person, I really could see them hosting a class, star by it. That one, I know that they work out a lot and I know really watch their eating. They probably would be happy to learn about essential oils. Put a star by it. Because in reality, if you just start at the top of the list and go down, you could be wasting some time when you know that there's some people in there who are probably more likely to want to come or to host a class or to do something with you. So start with those people first, okay? All right, you're gonna contact those with stars first. Now you're gonna get to work. Okay, so this is completely up to you. This is the part where most people stop. Do you know that? They make their list and then they don't know what to do with the list, or they have a fear of contacting people that they don't want to be pushy. They have a fear of what people are going to think of them. Don't be one of those people. If this can change your entire life and you have a fear of what others are going to think of you, you have got to throw that out the window. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. The only thing that matters is what you think of yourself. And for me, it's also what God thinks of me as well. You get to decide what that is. Don't let other people judge you, okay? Doesn't matter what they think. You're doing this because you have the right heart and you want to help people. So don't be one of those who says, okay, I have my list, but I really am uncomfortable calling people. This is the part where you have to get out of the box, the uncomfortable box, and just step over that uncomfortable line, okay? So I'm going to tell you what to do, and it's really not as hard as you think. Your success depends on this next step. You're going to call, text, Facebook message, or email those people on your list until your calendar is filled. This is where the magic happens. This is the part that's going to take the 1 to 2 hours of contacting them, okay? So, you ready for this? I'm going to tell you what to say and what to do when you contact these people. Now, when I say call, text, Facebook message, each person's going to be different. I have a mother-in-law who I could never text or Facebook message, but I could call or I could email. So you need to decide what's going to be the best method to contact them. So here's what you're going to do. What do you say, right? Everybody's scared to death of, oh my gosh, I have this list. I don't know what to say to them. I'm going to help you. Don't worry. We'll go through this together. Okay, look at their personality type. So I'm just going to show you on here. We have the promoter personality, the supporter personality, and then the controller analytical personality. So let me go back. There are different ways you want to talk to people when you're asking them to book a class for you. It's very important that you talk to them in their type of language. For instance, I'm a promoter, so I like fun and prizes and people and parties. To me, that's what motivates me and gets me going. So if somebody sent me a text like this, I am more likely to respond and want to participate. Okay, so let's just go through this. Hey, Sarah, guess what? I'm looking for some fun people who would host a great essential oils class for me in November. Okay, notice I said the word fun. Okay, and an essential oil class, all right? I immediately thought of you. Yay, I have some great prices in store if you're interested. We talked about prizes. Here are the next dates I have open, November 10th or 13th. Any of those work for you? If I don't hear from you in 2 days, I'll touch base again. I know how busy you are. I look forward to talking to you. Okay, I always put at the end of my messages that I will contact them in 2 days if I don't hear from them. Why do I say that? Number one, people are busy, and I legitimately think that they do want to contact me, but it was a small text that they got within 10 seconds, and it got pushed to the side, and everything in their life took precedence. And it's true. A small text is not going to be as important as work, feeding your child, and all these other things. So sometimes it gets pushed to the side. It's our responsibility to follow up with them. And I want to let them know that, because they are more likely to respond or reply if they know that I'm going to touch bases with them. Oh, she's going to contact me in 2 days, so I might as well just respond right now. Okay, so does this give you a good idea? If you have a phone, go ahead and take a picture. Get an idea of exactly what this would look like. Now, again, you're going to do this in your own words, okay? So don't feel like you have to do exactly what I put on here. But you definitely want to include fun, prizes, that it has to do with people, and a party type of words. If you have questions, you're welcome to ask them. At the end, I will go to the chat. Okay, so that's with the promoter personality. Let's talk about a supporter personality. These are the type of people who really like to help others, very good at listening, they like making others feel good, okay? And this is something I would send to them. Hey, Sarah, how are you? As you may know, I'm teaching classes on essential oils and I need your help, okay? I need your help. Remember, they like to help others. So I have a goal to teach 6 or whatever your goal is. You fill that number in. Classes in November, and I still need a few more on my calendar. Would you be interested in being one of my hosts? These people love to help others. So when you ask for them to help you out in having the class, the back of their mind is going, oh, she needs me. They want to be needed, okay? I have some great host gifts and promise a good time. I have November 10th and November 13th free. If those dates work for you, let me know. If I don't hear from you, I will check in with you in 2 days. Okay, so pretty clear to the point. This one I'm just asking if she would like to help me out. And she's listening, and we're going to make her help other people feel good, okay? So that's the supporter type of personality. Again, at the bottom, you notice I again say, if I don't hear from you, I'll check in with you in 2 days. All right, let's talk about the controller and the analytical person. These people like details. They like information. They like to get their opinion to people, and they like to have choices. You don't want to ever put them in a box and tell them what to do. They like choices. So this is the type of the text that I would send to them. Hey Sarah, this is Diane Shephard. How are you? As you may know, I'm teaching classes on essential oils and how they can be used for natural health care. So notice a little bit more formal on how they can be used for natural health care. They like information. I value your opinion, would love to know what you think. They love to give their opinion and love to tell you what they think. So when you actually ask for that, you are raising their self-esteem. These people love it. Okay, let's keep going on. Would you be interested in me coming to teach you about essential oils? Afterwards, I love to chat and have you tell me what you think. You can invite friends or family, or notice they like choices. I can teach you one-on-one what works best for you. So I always give these kinds of people a choice. Number one, they're not party people at all. They want information. They want details. They want to know exactly what it is. And many times, that's a one-on-one. So I'm going to give them that option. Now, they may be the type of person that said, if I like this, I do want to invite friends and family. So I'm going to give them a choice, okay? What works best for you? I know you're busy. If I don't hear from you, I'll touch back in 2 days. So again, same type of thing, but notice I'm just changing the wording a little bit to fit the controller analytical person. All right, biggest thing is you have got to follow up. There are so many people out there who were interested. They just did not respond because they might have been in the middle of something when they got your text, or maybe they had more questions and didn't have time to respond right then. So on your piece of paper, I want you to write down message and what time you left that message, okay? So that you can then follow up with them in a few days. Very, very important that you do that, especially if you put on that message, I will follow up with you in 2 days. People want to know about what we have. I have had lots of people from other businesses actually contact me, and I was interested in what they had to say, but at the moment I couldn't respond. It's those who followed up with me that I actually purchased something or went to a class. And I was really thrilled when they actually followed up. That told me a lot about who they were, and they moved up on my list. Those who follow up are professional, okay? All right, so if you still have dates that need to be filled after the texting, the calling, the messaging, then guess what? You get to fill in those dates with your own classes. You're going to host your own. Now, if you're not sure what type of classes to do, you can fill it in with all kinds of fun, different classes. We talked about bingo events on previous trainings. We've talked about mystery hostess. Erin Roberts just had a great class that she came up with. And it's a couples class, and it's called, oh my gosh, I can't remember what that was, but get creative. Think of something fun that you could have that's your own class, okay? One was a Harry Potter theme, is what she did. She made potions with oils. Isn't that cool? And since it's Halloween, that would be awesome. Okay, so you now have a great list of people to invite. We just made this huge list of people from your phone, from your Facebook message, all those things, and you have a ton of people to invite to your own classes. So if you do not effectively get classes on your calendar, then you get to host your own classes. Okay, don't stop booking until every red circle is filled. This is doable, guys. You have a list to work from. You've been given scripts of exactly what to text or say to people. It's just a matter of following through and doing it and setting aside that time and just deciding, I am not going to stop until my calendar is completely filled and all these red circles have a date in them. Not a date, but a name of those who are going to host the class. And it could be your name, right? Okay, once the classes are booked, then you need to keep in contact with each one to ensure you have a great attendance. You're going to send them the hostess letter. If you don't know what that is, I put it on the next page. And basically, it's just saying, thank you for hosting the class with me. Here's what we'll be doing. That's really all it is. And then you need to follow through with the 3 contact method. That's on the Jumpstart training video. So go back and watch that. So I don't want you to just book the classes and then just leave it and be so excited. Yay, I booked classes. You have to follow up with them as well on what to do at those classes. Okay, so let me show you what the hostess letter is. There's a lot of wording in this, so take a picture, but I'm also going to post this on our team page if you really want it. But really, it's just a letter saying, thank you for hosting essential oil class. You're confirming the date, confirming the time, what they can get when they host a class if they have 6 people in there. And then you tell them the best way to have a successful class is to make sure that you do the 3-step method of inviting. And we go into detail on what that is. Always, always send out something to let them know I've booked your class on this date and at this time, and I'm excited to come and teach your class. Okay, so common questions you might have. Number 1, what if my friends live out of town? Awesome. Host a Zoom class. That's what we're doing right now. And you can just be open where you're just talking and they see you. You can even send oils out ahead of time to all the people who said they want to participate. Or you can just say, this smells like this, and tell them about it, and then maybe send samples later. However you decide you want to do that, but friends out of town are no problem. Okay, what if you don't know their personality type? Send in the promoter text. It generally works for most personalities, okay? It's just one that most people generally relate to as well. So that works best. And a lot of times you can tell about their personalities just by kind of seeing how they respond on Facebook, the things that they post, okay? Are they detail-oriented? Are they more fun-loving? Okay, but either way, that promoter text should work good. Okay, what if you don't have time to follow up? Oh, okay, I get this a lot, guys. And if you don't have time to follow up, then you really don't have time to do this business. I know that might sound like I'm being so mean, like, what? Seriously, working any network marketing business requires that you follow up. It's just not an option at all. You've got to follow up. That's where the gold is, because you just did what you were supposed to do. So do it. Just follow up, okay? If you tell me you don't have enough time, then you are too busy. You need to take something out of your life. And it really only takes an hour a day. When we talk about doing your power hour, the majority of it really is following up with people. So an hour a day is really all you need. Okay, last question. I don't have 2 hours of uninterrupted time to do this. What do you suggest? I know there are moms out there who have little kids and the whole house would burn down if you took 2 hours, you know, and then started doing this. I get it. So just break that up into smaller increments. Take 30 minutes to go through your names on your phone. Take 30 minutes to go through Facebook. And then take 30 minutes, whatever, to respond to people, okay? Whatever it takes, just make sure that you do it. Full 2 hours that are broken up is absolutely no problem. Okay, so here's a review of what you're gonna do. You're gonna start out with a plan. Your calendar with circle dates gives you a concrete goal, and that's why I had you do that at the beginning of this training. You needed something to look at and say, here are the classes with dates that I need to fill. That's your goal. That's the plan. Number 2, get your mindset in place. Say, I have a full calendar of classes in November, and believe it. Number 3, skill set. Make your list from several sources. Take the time to sit and do it. Don't say, I'll get to it. Just do it. Number 4, put stars next to those who are most likely to be interested. Start with those people first. Number 5, using the scripts that I posted here, start inviting people to host a class or a one-on-one. Number 6, send out your host letter. Number 7, follow up with them. And number 8, get excited at how much closer you are to your goals. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you need to be doing to get all of those classes scheduled and on your calendar. You guys, you got this. It's just a matter of doing it and not being afraid, okay? Just got to do it. Okay, so next week, I would love your input on this. Our class is to be determined. I purposely left it open because we've now been through 9 different trainings, and I want to know, what do you want to learn most? Right now, where we are, you know how to teach a class, you know how to follow up, you know how to do creative classes, you know how to get classes on your calendar. What is it that you need to hear most? More than anything. So I would love if there's an idea that you have for me, put it in the chat, and I will determine whoever says the most ideas of what it might be is what I will choose for next week. So chime in. Okay, that's all for the class today. I am going to go in the chat. If you have any other questions, I will hopefully have them answered through the chat. Let me pull that up here. Okay. What is an oil support group and where do we find them? Okay, so first of all, I have to go up before that. I've never slowed it. It's the same as my life and I don't want the same. All right, add these names to your success tracker. Oh, perfect. Okay, so if you don't know what a success tracker is, that's just a tracker where you keep your names, and that's it's a program that you can use. Somebody tell me, is it called the Success? Go online and look up Success Tracker, and you're able to put names in there and it keeps track of them for you. So it makes it so much easier than using a piece of paper, although I still prefer the paper. I don't know why, I'm old-fashioned. Oil support groups are great to fill your calendar, and somebody says, what's an oil support group? An oil support group is where you just ask several people to come and you talk about oils. It's not necessarily a class, but everybody brings their oils with them, and you go around the room and each person shares about an oil, what it's done for you. You can actually do it all kinds of ways. And we get to talk oils, share them, and it's not necessarily where you're going to enroll people at the end of the class, but it's more where people will actually book a class. So an oil support group is awesome. Okay, people are giving me ideas of what class you would like. Placements in the back office tips. Very good, okay. Tips for hosting your first Zoom class, success tracker spreadsheets and the build guide. Okay, thank you, Diane. Build guide if you're looking for the tracker spreadsheet. Laura says, I have a video on how to do an oil support group I can share. Absolutely, please do, Laura. Post that on the My Oil Place Builders page. And those of you who are on here and want to know more about it, you can get that from Laura. Thank you, Laura. Okay, Adele says, Laura is growing her business using oil support groups. Excellent. Okay, very good to know that those are working. All right, any other questions? You guys are awesome. Thank you for being on this call. Sherry says, thanks. Okay, I'll give everybody just a few seconds in case you're still typing. If there's a question, Laura says, thank you. Nice haircut. Thanks, Adele. I did, I just got my haircut. Okay, Diane, how about approaching your skeptical family members and close friends? Ah, okay, that's a good idea. And Renee says, thank you, Diane. Awesome. Okay, we'll do the stop share. All right, well, thank you all for being on the call. And we will talk to you all later. Thanks, see ya.